Hey everyone! Today I've gathered some useful hacks that will solve your lifting issues when reinforcing short nails or any nail coating once and for all. I'll show you my personal technique that works flawlessly, and I'll also show 3 methods for rubbing in powder so that it adheres perfectly without clouding. Let's get started. I know many nail techs are puzzled when they seem to do gel nail strengthening correctly, but the client comes back with lifting. They redo the alignment and strengthening, but it still doesn't work and the tech loses the client. This is the pain point for many girls, especially beginners. So today, we'll fix this together, and your clients will never leave you. This also means higher prices and income for your services. And the first Achilles heel of all nail technicians is improper nail preparation for coating, namely not knowing how to prepare the plate mechanically and chemically. Regarding the mechanical part, it's machine processing and surface filing, which we call lifting of scales. You should look at the nail and see that it's completely matte. This is the first step to success. As for the E-file, we need to remove all the pterygium that has built up on the plate. If anything remains uncleaned, it will cause flows, which will 100% lead to lifting later on. It's important to understand that for quality E-file work, you need to lift and open the cuticle pocket with a pusher or orange wood stick. What grit should the file be for proper cuticle raising? If you're a nail tech with average experience and confident with file control, 180 grit will work for you. But if you're a beginner or notice the nail plate is thin, our choice is 240 grit. As for chemical preparation, before applying ultrabond, we need to thoroughly dehydrate the nail plate. Only then do we assess the nail condition and, if needed, apply dehydrator first, followed by ultrabond. We've already removed the enhancement. Next, we move on to E-file work. I showed all the nuances of working with an E-file in the previous video, where we broke everything down step by step. I also showed all the nuances and secrets when trimming the cuticles, so we'll skip that today, but I'll pin that super detailed and useful video for you in the comments. I want to add something about proper gel reinforcement and the nuances of working with gels. As soon as camouflage gels appeared, which replaced leveling, coating, color, and reinforcement altogether, rumors started circulating about bad masters who continue to level with buses. Since this was essentially a new technology, not all masters understood how to work properly with gels and what they were for. Some continued to work with gels in the same technique as with the base, but the coating did not wear well. There were chips at the edges, and lifting occurred at the cuticle. Many clients were puzzled by what the master was doing wrong, why the coating stopped holding. The problem lay in the incorrect technique of the master's work, and no matter how much some masters wanted to shift the blame onto the client, in this case, it wouldn't work. Therefore, my dear ones, if you want your clients to return without peeling and chipping, remember the algorithms and techniques of working specifically with gel. The second problem is the base. It is the one responsible for the adhesion with the subsequent material, so it needs to be carefully selected according to the nail plate type. I recommend using liquid bases for working with gels, as they penetrate between the nail scales faster and ensure good adhesion. When applying the base to the nail, make sure that all areas of the nail are evenly covered, because where there is no base, the gel will not hold, that's for sure. When you reinforce nails with gel, be prepared to pick up the file anyway, to file and adjust somewhere to give the correct architecture. There are special brushes for gel, and I have one too, but work with the brush that is convenient for you. Some people wrote to me like, what kind of master am I if I have only one brush for all products? Well, girls, it's just so convenient for me, and you should work with whatever is comfortable for you. And so, the first layer of gel, we apply it around the perimeter of the nail with a slight gap from the edge of the base. There's no need to step back by a millimeter or two, just a tiny bit like the width of a hair, but there should be a gap. There should be minimal gel at the cuticle area. This is still debated, but the gel should be present at the cuticle while tapering down to nothing. Next, on the still uncured gel, we place a gel drop and spread it out like when doing alignment with the base gel. But remember, after that, we'll be filing and we'll need a second layer of gel. The second layer of gel won't be necessary only if you strengthen the nail first and then remove the excess length. In that case, you can get away with a single layer of gel as the thickness of the nail is created by reducing the length. I pull the gel to the edge to create thickness artificially so that we don't have chips from the edge due to insufficient material. Right now, the nail looks like a bun, but you'll see the transformation after filing. After curing, remove the gel's tacky dispersion layer so it doesn't get in the way. Otherwise, all the filing dust will stick to the nails. Only then do I remove the length. Once you've removed the lens, look at the nail's free edge. It looks thick now, but this is when we start creating the proper anatomical nail architecture. This is when the enhancement will hold because when the nail is even, the product weight distributes properly across the plate, preventing cracks at the stress points. During filing, periodically brush away the dust and look at the nail from the side to avoid removing too much. Also, look at the nail from the side. It should follow a straight line, not curving down toward the free edge, or it will be arched and all our technique and effort will be for nothing. Yes, there's a lot of work and many nuances, but once you hone this skill, such work will take you no more than an hour, and that's very cool. After removing the dust, I can show you the result. The side wall is even and strong, the architecture is correct, and we can apply color or top coat. However, today we're doing a trendy manicure called Old Money, and we'll need powder. I'll be rubbing the onto the hot top coat. And here's the first hack. To ensure the powder lays evenly without streaks or bumps, we apply the top coat in a medium layer. This will help smooth out the nail perfectly after filing, but don't overdo the amount or it may undo the nail architecture. It's easy to make a mistake at this stage. After leveling, cure it in the lamp for 30 seconds. During this time, the top coat will polymerize enough to prevent it from smudging. The second hack. When working with powder, I focus on one finger at a time, so that after curing the top coat, I have enough time to apply the powder while the top coat is still hot. This allows for a more even and dense application of the pigment powder. What can you use to apply powder? Anything. Your finger, a glove, a silicone tool, whatever is comfortable for you. I use a glove as it's quick and practical, but if you have long nails, that may not work for you, so use a sponge instead. And just look at how beautifully the powder adhered. I use a clear one, which is more pearly without any specific shades. It's currently popular among clients. I worked on one nail at a time, keeping in mind the camera and trying to show every detail so you can see all the nuances. The key point when curing the top coat is to ensure that your hand lies flat in the lamp, with the fingers not touching the sides, as otherwise the top coat may not dry evenly, resulting in the powder appearing cloudy in those areas where the top coat didn't fully cure. Now, the most crucial step. We've already applied the powder, so we use a brush to remove any excess that might interfere. But how do we seal it in so that it adheres well and doesn't chip? The first and primary step, regardless of the technique you use, is to file the free edge, just a couple of strokes, to remove the excess powder from the edge of the nail. All the trouble starts from the edge, so it's crucial to address it first. Next, as I mentioned, there are 3 techniques with their pros and cons. The first and most durable method, preferred by the majority of professionals, we apply ultrabond to the free edge and the tip of the nail, allowing it to evaporate, and then we cover it with a non-sticky top coat or a slightly sticky one. I prefer to use a non-sticky top coat in a thin layer to maintain the shine of the powder and prevent cloudiness during polymerization. While a sticky top coat also works well, it is not as crystal clear as a non-sticky one. That's why my choice is clear. And now we cure the top coat for at least 1.5 minutes. The second technique is to first apply a thin base coat layer, then the top coat. This is also a very reliable technique that many use, but it has downsides. It takes more time since we apply the base coat first, cure it, then the top coat layer. In this case, the nail architecture may suffer slightly since there are already many layers, but it's a 200% guarantee the powder will last since base coats have adhesive properties. If you choose this technique, opt for a liquid base coat. It won't become too cloudy or yellow and you can apply it in a thin layer. The third technique is the SES, and I personally always use it. It's just a non-sticky top coat and that's it. I don't need anything else for this. However, you need to be confident in your top coat. I'll let you in on a secret. If applying powder over hard gel, use a hard top coat too. If your enhancement is more flexible like a base gel, then use a flexible top coat. That's it. Well, here's what they ended up with. To me, these are such a premium aristocratic nails. But what do you all think of this look? Thanks for watching this video till the end. Thank you for your support and likes. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. As promised, I'm leaving you a super detailed and useful video about manicures in the comments. Be sure to check it out, you won't regret it. And now, I'll say goodbye for a bit. See you later, beauties.